and porpoises, an illustrated encyclopedic survey by international experts. So it is a kind of compendium which taken from different authors. So let's go through the book. You can see a humpback whale. Here's the title. So whales, dolphins and porpoises, consulting editors Sir Richard Harrison, Dr. M. Bryden, illustrations by Tony Przyzakowski. Okay, so you can see orca here. So this is a Blitz edition, published by Blitz edition in 1992. Okay, you can see a group of people doing whale watching. Then all the photographs on the front page and this page on the back page are given notes here. Now here's a list of consulting editors: Professor Sir Richard Harrison, then Dr. M. Bryden, then a list of contributors, so many contributors. So this can be called as the co-authors. So they cover right from USA, Australia, then New Zealand, UK, China, England, etc. Okay, let's go through the contents. Introduction, whales of the world. This chapter again divided into evolution, kinds of whales, that is species of whales, baleen whales, toothed whales, distribution and ecology. Then the world of the whales, anatomy, adaptation to the aquatic environment, the world of senses, reproduction and development, social behavior, intelligence. Then this is very important, whales and people. So whales in art and literature, history of whaling, whales and the dolphins in captivity, human contact, strandings, fact and fiction. Then there are end chapters like checklist of living whales, bibliography, acknowledgements, notes on contributors, metric conversion table and index. So you can see it covers almost everything right from evolution to the whaling or contact with humans. So this is the introduction by Richard Harrison. Then whales of the world. So photographs are either they form one page here or full page, as you can see here. Photograph supplied with the footnote like this: male orcas lack the small hooked dorsal fin and can grow up to twice the length of the female. Okay, so evolution, anatomy, then the anatomy of the ancestors. Here you can see a full length blue whale stuffed and a display. Photographs are very nice and the photo credits are given directly near the photographs like this. Then the diversity page, diversity chapter. Now here you can see family Balenidae, right whales. The species are illustrated with the paintings like this. So here's the common name, scientific name, then appearance, size, habitat and distribution, reproduction, diet. So this is a kind of flow chart of two categories or suborders of the whales: Mysticeti, that is baleen whales, and toothed whales, Odontoceti. So here are how it goes. As you can see, the text is fairly small. The font is fairly small. It is not aligned right side, and at some places it is single column, some places it is double column. Of course, that is not a jarring, but considering the size of the book, the font is fairly small. So here's the largest animal on the world, the blue whale. I'm back. Okay, so illustrations are nice, very good. Common dolphin. So these are the baleen plates of the whale, how a whale catches kriels. Footnote for this is a humpback whale, celebrated by Herman Melville as the most gamesome of the great whales. The humpback breaches more often than other baleen whales and can leap almost clear of the water. This behavior is most common on breeding grounds, but solitary humpbacks have been observed breaching by themselves, apparently for enjoyment. So breaching is a phenomenon where they come out of the water, and humpbacks are the most breachers, as it says. So this is the food of the largest of the whales, a krill, which can be as small as this. Then some of the parasites on the whale's body, whale songs. Then comes the next chapter on toothed whales, narwhal. Okay. Use and misuse of the terms whale, dolphin and porpoise. All the members of order Mysticeti are referred to as whales. For example, blue whales, minke whales, etc. Among the toothed whales, different names arise, and the term whale is used to indicate size rather than the zoological affinity. The killer whale, pilot whale, white whales are the close relatives of the common dolphin. Likewise, there is no precise definition of the term dolphin and porpoise. Members of the family Platanistidae, the river dolphins, and smaller delphinids are referred to as dolphins. So this clears a doubt about whom to call whale, whom to call dolphin and porpoise. Then the baiji, almost extinct now, the Chinese river dolphin. Then comes the distribution and ecology. So when chapter start, name of the author or the contributor is given over here. The world of the whales. Okay, now here you can see how really big they can grow. You can see the largest animal living on the world is blue whale, then 31 meters, sperm whale around 18.5 meters, humpback 14.5 meters, orca the killer whale 9.5 meters, and here's the human roughly around 2 meters, and a Hector's dolphin 1.5 meters. So you can compare humans with the blue whale. They are really huge animals. So this is a kind of morphology that tells which part called by what name. Then the differentiating characters of the fluke profile, normally what we call as the tail fin in the fish, in whales and dolphin it is called as the fluke. Then the dorsal fins. Then about the teeth, internal anatomy. Then how to differentiate shark and dolphin. Here you can see how do the sperm whales do diving and breathing. Then how water is prevented from entering into respiratory tract, because whales are aquatic and they have to come to surface to take in the water. So there should not be any mistake that water will go in their lungs. Then the world of senses. How do they track fish? Echolocation by dolphins. Reproduction and development, reproductory tract, ovary of a whale. then gestation period, that is pregnancy, social behavior, then orcas trying to catch seals, comparative brain sizes, so how whales are taught. Yeah, then whales and people. Whale watching, as you can see, a child is watching a dolphin in shallow coastal waters. Whales in art and literature. There are few poems given over here. Then old drawings of 1400 15th century. Then some of the whalings in China. Herman Melville Moby Dick. Then Scrimshaw, that is carvings of whales. Then history of whaling, this is very important because whales have been slaughtered like anything. This is the harpoon used to catch the whale. As you can see, this part goes into the whale's body and this part prevents this harpoon to come out of the whale's body. So you can imagine the agony whale can have. Abandoned whaling station in South Georgia. Then whaling in 1920s. Here you can see how baleen plates, look at the sheer number. Baleen plates, then barrels filled with oil, plenty of them. Whale skeleton. Then starting of the International Whaling Commission in 1946. Whaling still goes in some places. And here the estimate of the population sizes of some of the whales. And whales and dolphins in the captivity, like this. There are whale shows and dolphin shows by many zoos. Then human contact, like many researchers go do research on these animals, and there is a dolphin and whale watching trips. Then a very crucial factor, that is stranding of the whales, because whales get lost sometimes and they come ashore, and when they are on the seashore it's difficult for them to go back. This is called as the stranding. Sometimes they are saved, sometimes they cannot be. Okay, this is important. What do you do if you find a stranded cetacean? First is to identify it, take the measurements, and if you have volunteers, just help that animal to go back. And here is last is the checklist with the common names, scientific name and common name. Then acknowledgement given chapter wise, bibliography over here. Then notes on the contributors, that is the authors. A small note is given like about their expertise. Then metric conversion table and index. So overall this is a nice book on whales, dolphins and porpoises. Though it appears thin, it is fairly heavy book, but of course it is not a pocket guide, but it tells you everything about the whales and dolphins.